In today's video, we are doing this week's Raw Recap. As always in these recap videos, we go over everything you need to know about this important episode of WWE. I give my thoughts on the show, and you guys can leave me your thoughts down in the comments below. But before we get anywhere into the video, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go follow the socials, which includes Instagram and X. The links to those are in the description of every video, including this one, so you can go follow those. All that is completely free for you, but it helps me out a ton. But now, let's get right on into today's video. Oh yeah, and before I forget, I actually have made a schedule for the channel. I do have to balance many things, so I needed to make a schedule like ASAP. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make videos Monday, I'm going to make videos Wednesday, and I will do videos on Friday, and you'll most likely get videos every day out of the weekend as well. Those include only long form videos. Like shorts, as far as my YouTube shorts go, those will be out probably, you can expect those at any time, or it's really just depends if I do make one or not, but those really don't have a specific time. This schedule is mainly for just my long form videos, which is what I of course mainly do. So I just wanted to throw that out there just so you guys know what's going on. So obviously in today's video, this is Monday, so you're getting the Raw recap out of me, but then I won't post tomorrow, but then Wednesday I will have another video for you guys. I just need to really balance things because some things are getting really hectic. So I just got to make a balanced schedule, and I think this will work for now. It might get updated, of course, in the future, but this is what we have for now. So just throwing that out there so you guys know. But now, let's get right on into today's video. Alright, so we kicked off Raw with The Vision, obviously Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Paul Heyman, and Bronson Reed. The first part of this promo it felt like something that we've already seen before, because we quite literally have from this group. Paul Heyman just starts off with saying that he should be considered basically God in the city of Philadelphia, or just in this industry, because of how much he's done for the business. But he said that he is too humble to take all the credit that he deserves, basically. And then he says that we are looking at the vision, basically. And then he goes on, and this is what I mean by we've seen this before from this faction, because Paul Heyman he starts off with Braun Breaker. He says you are looking at the future of WrestleMania. You were looking at, you're pretty much just looking at the future of WrestleMania, the future of WWE in Braun Breaker. He goes over to Bronson Reed. He says basically over here, you're looking at the owner of the Shula Fala, the tribal thief, and you're looking at, once again, pretty much the future of WWE. Then he goes on to Seth Rollins and says, over here, you're looking at a visionary, a revolutionary. You're looking at the WWE world, the reigning, defending, undisputed world heavyweight champion of the world, Seth frickin' Rollins. So that right there, we've already seen that before from this team, so I thought that was just pretty lackluster, because that's just a reused promo, just kind of words mixed around, but that part was reused. But then before Seth Rollins could talk, we did have Jey Uso come out, and this is where things started to pick up. So Jey Uso comes out from the crowd, and in fact he stays in the crowd, and he basically starts off with just talking, telling the Vision to shut up, telling Paul Heyman, I'm tired of you guys and all you coming out here week after week and just talking and just running your mouth. You guys speak nothing but gibberish and pretty much garbage, basically. You don't speak anything relevant to the people. And then he goes over to Braun Breaker, which is obviously his opponent tonight, and he says, basically, to sum it all up, what he said to Breaker, basically saying that he's better than him and Braun Breaker is basically lower than him. That's basically everything to sum up about what Jey Uso said about Braun Breaker. And then we go back to Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins tries to feed into Braun Breaker that Jey basically hates Braun Breaker's whole family. He thinks they're worthless. He thinks you're worthless. He thinks he's a better athlete than you. He thinks he's just overall better than you, and he thinks basically everything that you represent is stupid, basically. And then you could see Braun Breaker, he gets angry, but right there with Seth feeding those words into Braun Breaker, I think that was good. I think that was the right thing to do there. Honestly, I think that was very interesting, but it was just a little bit weird for Seth Rollins to feed in those words to Braun Breaker, but then when Braun Breaker tried to leave the ring to go attack Jey Uso, he holds him back. That was a little bit weird. I think if you're going to feed those type of words into people and get that anger built up in them, you clearly want to set them off set them off, but then he holds him back from going to fight Jey Uso right then and there. So that was kind of weird there. But then it is made official that obviously we already know that Jay and Breaker are going one-on-one tonight, but it gets made official that match will now be an Extreme Rules match. So I'm even more hyped for that match now, which we'll obviously probably get into. I'm pretty sure it's most likely going to be the main event, so we'll get into that at closer to the end of the video, of course. But really, that is really all there is to say here about this. That was really everything that happened in this promo and then the show opener. Like I said, the first part of this promo was pretty reused. It wasn't a terrible promo. It definitely wasn't. It's just kind of it followed a formula that we've seen before. That's kind of been happening the past few weeks, but definitely you can notice it this week for sure, which is fine. But sometimes it does get a little bit aggravating and just lackluster and boring. But I mean, except for the first part of this opener, I thought it was actually pretty decent. So overall, not a terrible opener. Just it could have definitely used some work for sure. Alright, and next up, we moved on to our first match of the night, which included Raquel Rodriguez versus Iyo Sky. Honestly, this match was actually decent in my opinion. It wasn't anything special, but I feel like for sure the ending, in my opinion, of this match is pretty good. There was also a few other moments in this match that were actually pretty good as well, so for that reason, I definitely give this match at least a decent rating. It's not like a terrible match. It's definitely decent. I mean, it wasn't tremendous. It's just decent. Obviously in this match, Roxanne Perez was out there in Raquel Rodriguez's corner. And at the end of the match, like I said, Iyo Sky did win this one. But at the end of the match, Roxanne Perez does come in and attack Iyo Sky. And then the Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez continue to beat up on Iyo Sky. But then that gets all put to an end when Rhea Ripley comes out and helps Iyo Sky, saves the day, beats up the Judgment Day. And then Iyo Sky and Rhea Ripley do stand tall here. I'm assuming with the inclusion of Rhea Ripley here, this is going to stir up some trouble with the whole Iyo Sky and the Kabuki Warriors situation. I definitely assume that's kind of what's going to happen here. Obviously, the Kabuki Warriors, or at least Asuka, is not a big fan of Rhea Ripley currently, so I'm assuming that because of Rhea coming out there, I'm assuming that's going to definitely stir up some trouble with that situation there, which I'm all for, honestly. I'm actually starting to like that whole thing with the Kabuki Warriors and Iyo Sky and all that. I'm actually starting to like that, so I'm honestly fine with that. But as far as the overall match goes, there was a few good things in that match that I did actually enjoy. So for that reason, I do give it decent at best. But yeah, man, just a overall decent match. Alright, and next up we did have Xavier Woods versus Penta, and obviously, as you'd expect, I mean, the match actually was okay. I don't want to say it was the greatest, but kind of like everything else that has happened so far tonight, has not been insanely good, but it also hasn't been trash. There were some good spots that I did enjoy in this match. I'm not going to talk about this match too much because there's not much to talk about, but inevitably in this match, Penta does obviously pick up the win, as you would expect. Obviously, I don't really like where Penta is right now. I'm really not a big fan of the picture that he's in right now, but that's okay. It'll get better soon. But like I said, I don't want to talk about this match too much, just because it's really not that important. But yeah, that's really all there is to know, man. Honestly. Alright, and next up we moved on to the Judgment Day, which obviously included JD McDonough and Finn Balor, who are the World Tag Team Champions, and they faced Mr. Iguana and Dragon Lee. This match was decent, man. Because I don't want to say that this match was incredible, because it wasn't. It definitely was not. But this match sure as hell was not trash. This match was obviously comedic obviously because of Mr. Iguana, which is always awesome to see him, and there was obviously, as you can expect, some cool flips in this match, and overall I think the match was definitely decent. Not the greatest, but certainly not trash. Nowhere close to being trash. So I will put this match at least at decent. You could argue as it being good, but for me personally, I will just say decent. As far as the entire match played out, the Judgment Day does pick up the win here, but in the post-match, we do have Mr. Iguana. He comes over to Dragon Lee to help him out. But then the Judgment Day continue to gang up on Mr. Iguana and Dragon Lee. Eventually, Dominic Mysterio obviously was out there, and he takes Dragon Lee over to the announcer's table. He's seemingly going to put him through it. But then Dominic's opponent, who at next month at Worlds Collide, El Hijo del Vikingo, I believe that's his name, who is the AAA Mega Champion, he comes out and he defends Dragon Lee, takes out Dominic, but that doesn't last long because El Hijo del Vikingo, like I said, I might have said that wrong, but he takes out he falls victim to the Judgment Day's attack as well, and then inevitably here the Judgment Days do stand tall, man. But as far as this overall match, I actually, like I said, thought it was decent and cool flips, very comedic with the inclusion of man, why am I blanking? Mr. Iguana. I honestly do wish we saw El Demonito, though. I think that would have been funny. Obviously, that was introduced at Triple Mania this past weekend, but honestly, I think that would have been very funny to see again. But we didn't, which is all good. Just something that I thought they could have possibly added in there. But like I said, as far as the overall match goes, was definitely decent. Alright, and next up, we did have Becky Lynch versus Natalya for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Yeah, this match was lackluster. Very lackluster. There was a point in this match where Natalya ran into, I believe it was the post, and her shoulder got injured. I don't know if it's a work or not. It doesn't really look like a work. The match did obviously continue on, and inevitably, Becky Lynch did win. The ending was lackluster, and just throughout the entire match was very lackluster. I thought this match could have been better. Definitely could have. Just was not a big fan of it at all, honestly. Like I said, Becky Lynch obviously does retain here. She wins off of a disarm her. Just really very lackluster in my opinion. Not a good match at all. But the highlight of this match was post match where Nikki Bella actually came out and attacked Becky Lynch, and then she stood tall over Becky. That was really the highlight, man. But other than that, this overall match was just not anything special, and it just wasn't that good, man. But there's really not much else to say about this. Alright, and next up, we did figure out what is going on with Naomi. Obviously, last week she was scheduled to take on, I believe it was Iyo Sky. She was scheduled to take on Iyo Sky, and she was scheduled to defend her Women's World Champion, but tonight we figured out why she was not medically clear, and that is because she does have a child on the way. So Naomi obviously did have to relinquish the title, but it was funny the way this segment played out, man. Very freaking funny in my opinion. So Adam Pearce obviously out there. Naomi obviously says, but I will relinquish this basically, but Adam, I'm not giving shit to you, which I thought that right there was funny. Obviously, inevitably, she does relinquish the title, but she does not indeed hand it to not Nick Aldis, Adam Pearce. And at the end of the segment, she actually lays her title obviously down in the middle of the ring. But it was funny because she told Adam Pearce to get the frick out of her ring, basically, which was very funny in my opinion. But then Naomi basically continues with the fact that when I come back in 9 months, I strongly advise the holder of this championship to proceed with caution, because I'm coming back to start exactly where I left off. So basically, that's really all there is to know here. Naomi is going to have a baby. She has to relinquish the title. She left it in the middle of the ring, and we'll most likely figure out more next week on what's going on with the Women's World title picture. Obviously, Stephanie Vaquer was #1 contender to the title. She was supposed to face Naomi at Clash in Paris. Obviously, that's not going to happen now, so we'll figure out everything. We'll figure out more next week, of course, on Monday Night Raw. But honestly, man, it sucks to see Naomi go, but she'll be back in 9 months, and we'll be back exactly where we left off with her, man. So I mean, the 9 months honestly is gonna go like that, man. So it sucks, but we have to live through it. And like I said, inevitably Naomi will come back, and she will take that title back. But that's really all there is to know here. Alright, y'all, and we have finally made it to our main event, dude. This was such a good freaking main event, man. As you guys know, I freaking love chaos, so obviously I'm going to love this match. This match was main event Jey Uso, or should I call him Uncle Jey Uso now? Yeah, that was kind of cringe, I know. But yeah, Jey Uso he went one-on-one with Braun Breaker, obviously in the Extreme Rules match. Man. Oh, this is so freaking good to see, man. So great to see, man. You have a great superstar in Jay. You have a great superstar in Braun Breaker. You put those two together, and you put them in an Extreme Rules match, you're just going to get one big freaking banger, and that's exactly what this match was. And like I said, like you guys know by now, if you watch my content consistently, I talk a good amount of how I like matches with chaos, and this was absolute chaos with weapons, and I freaking loved it, dude. It was absolutely freaking awesome. It's always great to see an Extreme Rules rules match in my opinion, man. So freaking great main event here. We do have the introduction. Well, we thought Jey Uso was going to win at one point, but then Bronson Reed comes out, pulls out the ref from the ring. But that's when LA Knight comes out, takes out Bronson Reed. Then Seth Rollins comes out, takes down LA Knight. And then Seth Rollins goes over to the ref after he's done with Knight, tries to bring him back in the ring, but before he could do that, that's when CM Punk comes out, takes out Rollins, and then eventually those two, they brawl outside of the ring area. So I mean, they go off TV. And then inevitably, we actually do have the OTC Roman Reigns come out, and then he comes out, helps Jey Uso, he spears Breaker, and then he Superman punches Bronson Reed, throws Breaker back in the ring. Jey Uso puts him on a table. Jey goes up to the top, and then hits that big Uso splash through that table, man. Gets that 1, 2, 3, and then at the end, it was noted that Roman Reigns told Bronson Reed, it wasn't over a microphone, so it was hard to hear. But he said, I will see you at Paris. So that obviously means we will be getting Bronson Reed and Roman Reigns at Clash in Paris, man. That is going to be an absolute banger. Cannot wait for that, man. The Clash in Paris match card is looking pretty damn good, just with the fatal 4-way for the world title, and then this match now. I think that match card is looking pretty damn good. Cannot wait for Clash in Paris, man. But back to this match, just overall such a banger. I know a lot of people have been pissed off that the way that Raw's ended the past few weeks has been it's been repetitive, man. But I don't think this is repetitive at all. I think this was absolutely amazing. It was definitely a change, and I freaking loved it, man. Oh, dude, this main event was just awesome, man. Such a damn good freaking main event, man. I really freaking enjoyed this one. Like I said, though, inevitably Jey Uso does win, so you have that. Like I said, with the whole Bronson Reed and Roman Reigns, they're going to go head-to-head at Clash in Paris, most likely. It is probably going to be officially announced probably by next week, of course. And then that's really the main takeaways here, man. Just overall, what a banger of a main event tonight, man. So awesome. Alright, everybody, well, you have now reached the end of the video, man. I do hope you guys did enjoy. I think this episode of Raw was... honestly, man, I'm going to say good. I'm going to say good here. I know a lot of things were decent from my ratings, man, but inevitably, I think I'm going to have to go good on this Raw. Just good. Not great, just good, man. It was not a bad Raw at all. I think this Raw was actually pretty damn good. Like I said, love that main event, of course. But leave me all your guys' thoughts down in the comments below about this episode of Raw. Like I said, I think it was definitely good. But before we get out of here, though, be sure to leave a like on the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, go follow the socials. Links to those always in the description of every video. Obviously, the socials do include my Instagram account and my X account. I post pretty much daily, not necessarily daily on all those. I post more on X than I do Instagram. But yeah, man, just go check all that out. Completely free, helps me out a ton. Like I said, though, hope y'all enjoyed. Drop your thoughts down in the comments below. Catch y'all in the next one, boy. Peace.